6:05 in the morning. 41.4 degrees on day 5, April 8th. Wake up. All right, guys, 10 past 7, 42.2 degrees, and just breaking out of camp. Just getting the sun on my face for the first time this morning. Wonderful little camp spot. Just kind of just off the ridge and a bit of a broad drainage here in this little hillside or whatever. But pretty nice, pretty nice. There was definitely some wind that kicked up last night. About halfway through the night, it just got windy. Just got old-fashioned windy. But it was all right. For a while, I just tried to ignore it. But eventually, it was making progress on pulling some of the warmth out of my sleeping bag. So at that point, I yet again unfurled my poncho and lay it over top of my sleeping bag. With kind of rocks and my shoes and stuff to anchor down the corners so that it wouldn't blow away. And once that kind of wind protection, if you will, was installed, then I slept pretty well. Some clouds rolled in at one point overnight too as well. It was really funny. So I was asleep, and again, I tend to wake up every, whatever it is, 40 or 60 minutes or so. Just very briefly. It's not really a problem. But just wake up very briefly, and during one of those like intermittent wake ups, I noticed that I was like really warm, and I was like, my goodness. So looked up, and sure enough, I could see no more stars, and I imagined that perhaps what was keeping me warm was the clouds overhead. So I don't know, but maybe just correlation, perhaps not causation, but a neat observation nonetheless, because certainly clouds are known for keeping warmth in. But anyways, that's about it for last night. Oh, I guess one of the hikers stopped through, a gal, I think her name is Annalise or Annalyn or something, I believe, if I have it right. She was the young Austrian gal I met at the restaurant yesterday. The day before, I can't quite recall. But she was friendly. She stayed probably 150 feet kind of down the drainage in another flat open spot. She was back and forth as to whether she too was going to cowboy camp. She seemed excited about the possibility, but also a little nervous about the prospect of it. So I'm not sure what she wound up doing, and she was gone by the time I broke camp, which, good on her. I'm impressed. But yeah, with that, that's about all I got today. Oh, I guess I'll just mention briefly, today is going to be a bit of a low water day. There's water after about 4.5 miles, and then water, I think, about 5 miles beyond that, and then that's about it for the day. So I'll probably eat dinner at that 9-mile spot, just that I have water to cook and clean, and probably just try and drink as much water as I can today so that I'm hydrated, feeling good, feeling happy, all that. All right, with that, I'm officially done. I will talk to you guys a little later. right, 11:32:62. Okay guys, it is 11:32:62.2 degrees, which is actually a pretty pleasant temperature, but it sure feels warmer in the sun, I don't mind telling you. I'm just finishing up a little bit of a break over here at the second water source for the day. I did wind up not cooking anything. I just had several snacks. Man, this whole wide basin down here. I suppose that may be where I'm headed. I'm not quite 100%. I don't see anything that looks super Julian-ish down there. Perhaps not. But yeah, I had a few snacks, and I've been back and forth about what to do today. I think I've made up my mind though. So originally, my thought was I would hike today until, I don't know, whatever, 2-3 miles away from Scissors Crossing, which is again the bail point for Julian, and then just wake up tomorrow, finish that distance to the bail point, hitch into town, get some pie, get a beer, and then hitch back out and keep going. But I decided not to do that. What I decided to do instead is just hike the remaining almost 9 miles from where I hit record just now to Scissors Crossing, and just camp under the bridge. Sounds like there's a couple other hikers that are doing that, so I'll camp under the bridge and be right there on the road first thing in the morning to hitch into town. The reason for that is twofold. For one, again, this is what I'm leaving here is just the final water source until a water cache at Scissor Crossing. So if I were to camp between here and Scissor Crossing, I'd want to pack out enough water to get me to camp and then up and out in the morning. The second reason is that after that cache, moving north out of Scissors Crossing, there's no water for like 14 miles, which is fine, totally fine. But if there's no water for 14 miles and I want to start the day by going into town, I want to start the day early, because definitely it gets pretty warm in the sun in the afternoon. So yeah, so again, the plan moving out of this final water source of the day, hike 9 miles, get to Scissors Crossing, camp at Scissors Crossing, and then tomorrow get into Julian nice and early, and then get started back on trail for that 14-mile dry stretch, hopefully as early as possible. But that's the plan as of now. We'll see. Maybe it'll change again. Who knows? But so far today's been a good day. Nice views, nice ridges. Knees are definitely barking quite a bit today. Just all descents. So there was even a little bit of a steep stretch where I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but I wound up walking backwards down this hill just to avoid using whatever muscles or tendons or whatever in the world it is that's vexing me. So, but do what you gotta do. Hopefully the rest of the grades on the descent today should be pretty mellow, so that's something to look forward to. All right, well, that's all I got. I will check in with you guys when I get to camp. 340, 76.6 degrees. I've made it to the town of Julian. Plan changed up a little bit. Decided to try and stick up my thumb, get a hitch into town to take care of all my Julian stuff today so that I can get, hopefully, a start before sunrise tomorrow. I'll explain this when I get to camp. I haven't actually made it to camp, obviously. But yeah, man, got onto the underpass, stuck out my thumb. Like, the first car that came by picked me up. Super, like, crusty, vibey old backpackers. Like, dude was saying he'd backpack clear across Africa, clear across South America. He was talking about, like, one of his favorite spots being the Yellow Mountains in China. Just super awesome people. Brought me right in here to Julian. Mom's pie shop is absolutely smashed up. Lines going like all the way down the block. Forget all that noise. Got no time for that. Don't care how good your pie is. I am going to Julian Beer Company instead, where I can smell the barbecue smoker going, see how many beers and what kind of dinner I can throw into myself, and then hopefully, good Lord willing, hitch back out, because this town just feels expensive. So, all right, let's see what kind of trouble I can get into. 5:45, 63.6 degrees, leaving Julian Beer Company. Hey, how's it going? Good. I'm heading back out. See you all out there. Well, yeah, stopped in, got a couple beers with the boys there. It was, gosh, let's see, it was Jarrett with a T from Rochester. It was Mike from Washington State. Good fellas. Hung out, got some ribs, got a little iceberg wedge, a couple of beers. It's fantastic. Charged up some batteries. Gosh, man, my feet hurt, my knees hurt. But as I said, it's 5:45. There's a shuttle leaving, donation shuttle, leaving Julian here in another 15 minutes. And I hope to be on it. So I'm gonna see if I can't find out where it picks up, and I will check in with you guys at camp.